So I've been at Fluor for 1 year, and within the first few months of being at Fluor, I noticed a lot of opportunities on our project to improve the practices that we had in place. But when we explored potential solutions, we found that we didn't actually have the resources we needed to develop these ideas. So when I saw that BT&I was introducing Innovation Unwrapped Challenge, I saw that there was now a way for us to actually foster these ideas and receive the support to actually give our idea a chance.
When Madison came to me about bringing her idea to Innovation Unwrapped, I really saw an opportunity to get the type of exposure needed to make some much needed changes to how Fluor does business. I immediately reached out to Neil Prescott, possibly one of Fluor's most prolific innovators, to form a team with the means to take on this challenge.
When I was approached by Felipe in Madison with a very novel idea involving solving a continuing problem that occurs throughout our organization and in every business line across all elements of a project, for example, engineering, procurement, and construction, I was intrigued with helping. It is these bright new ideas and the desire to innovate from our staff that has propelled me to be involved. It is an intriguing experience.
People excite me inside and outside of work. If you want to get me excited, just get me started talking about people, how they do what they do, but more importantly, why they do what they do. At the end of the day, the world works because of people, and ultimately our company is driven by people. So without focusing on people, innovation is just futile. So I actually have a sticky note on my desk talking about culture and innovation, and it says, culture eats strategy for lunch every day, and culture can swallow innovation as well. And for me, this is why understanding people and why people do what they do is so inspiring and so telling and so important for innovation at Fluor.
A big portion of my time in grad school was spent learning about gathering data and how to derive new knowledge from this data. At work, I'm constantly trying to bridge systems together so data can move seamlessly through my daily workflow. Outside of work, I've recently been published on the subject of knowledge discovery from structural data sets. I'm really inspired by the power and beauty of data, as I love making sense of it inside and outside of work.
Being a highly inquisitive person, I find inspiration in everyday world, whether it be inside or outside of work. It could be something new, like improvement or innovation of a new way of doing things, or bringing life to a new idea. Solving difficult and complex tasks is what motivates me. It's the challenge.
In 10 years, I see Fluor as the leading global engineering solutions provider. In order to accomplish this, Fluor must undergo a paradigm shift in the way they adopt and promote technology and innovation. Fluor must develop a competitive advantage by truly integrating and streamlining its systems and processes.
I completely agree. I've heard many executives say how we want Fluor to be the Apple of the EP&C industry, but it's always followed with a, but we aren't Apple. I would like to see Fluor remove the stigma that our industry has an innovative limit, that we can only be so innovative without being the next technology company like Google or Apple. This requires that paradigm shift that Felipe was mentioning.
Madison also agree. The market demands innovation and change to make things better, bring new technology to the market faster and less expensive. Our ultimate goal should be to recognize as the best in our field in innovation and value creation. To be recognized in innovation as we are recognized in safety and ethics would bring a trifecta of recognition to our company and its employees.
That you see within this team.
Although all of us have experience in all three phases of innovation, I think we've reached the right mix in this group by combining Neil, who is so adamant about promoting new ideas, something that is truly his passion. Madison, who has the energy and passion to further develop this idea, as she truly believes that business transformation is the path to Fluor success. In my own interest, in the complexity involved in executing our idea into a final product. This is something that fuels my desire to dig deeper and find solutions to difficult problems.
Go for it. I find all the things that you've mentioned to be critical in order to make an ideal successful. And it's true that I enjoy coming up with things. As innovation champion for the offshore division, I relish developing new ideas. It's always been my passion. In fact, in the last 10 years, I have written and submitted over 70 P4 technical articles that have been involving new innovation and ideas, and have presented these ideas to others in our industry throughout the world. This has resulted in 8 new patents for Fluor. I started a bi-weekly offshore technology meeting to share these ideas and those of our offshore industry. It is open to all. It was at one of these meetings where we were doing a brainstorming session taught to us by Fluor Innovation Group that I met Felipe. I recognized instantly someone who loved innovation and was willing to develop new ideas to change how we can do things better.
I think we would all like to thank BT&I for starting the Innovation Unwrapped Challenge at Fluor. In our experience through this, it has brought together different people from different backgrounds who wouldn't normally work together on a joint effort, and it has encouraged us to talk on a daily basis about what innovation means at Fluor, both with our team members and other co-workers. This is definitely a great experience and a step in the right direction to bringing the innovative culture that we're looking for at Fluor. Now we would like to present to you our business challenge that we've chosen to address for the Innovation Unwrapped Challenge. The main deliverable of every engineering phase is engineering drawings and documents. But before you can even get to issuing these documents onto POL, a lot happens in the development of these deliverables, and the sheer magnitude of the documents can be overwhelming as the complexity of the project increases and scope changes. As part of the SOCLIN-OS 2 programs, engineering is required to produce a technical package to apply for a Russian construction permit. A package we were working on last summer contained over 1,600 drawings, and each drawing existed in both English and Russian. At the end of the day, there were 4 associated files with every single drawing. That's over 6,400 files. Each of those drawings has multiple emails associated with the development of the drawing. With approximately 8 engineering leads contributing, and about 4 different managers between engineering and regulatory, you can quickly see how this can become a mess. No single person knew the status of the drawings or where to find the most updated drawing, much less the status of the package as a whole. This is where I came in last summer, to make some sense of the chaos and prepare the package for issuance to the client. But the development of the engineering deliverables should never have gotten to this point, and that's where the idea for our business challenge came from. For our business challenge, we wanted to look at how can Fluor engineer a product development process that drastically reduces the potential for human error, especially errors associated with wasted time and rework as a result of poor communication. Through a streamlined project collaboration tool that incorporates both automated workflow management and revision control, we can engineer a dynamic solution that can be implemented in all departments across all business lines that will ultimately reduce wasted time due to rework and poor communication. A project collaboration tool is a tool that acts as a centralized hub of collaboration throughout project development, allowing us to capture day-to-day informal communications usually shared through word of mouth or through emails. Fluor currently has tools that capture some aspects of project collaboration, such as Lotus Notes Same Time or One Fluor Connections, and we would like to continue building on these established tools. By leveraging cloud computing services, we can create a streaming service similar to Connections, which will allow a continuous stream of updates, highlighting document development, scheduling, and other project changes. Another benefit is that channels can be created with separate streams, and any communications regarding a certain document can be tagged and preserved within that stream for future needs. Project collaboration tools allow for smarter and more effective communication within the office compared to the traditional tools like email. It really is the smarter way to work. With the use of an automated workflow management tool, we can now capture the work process and current status of documents. For example, with a proper workflow management tool, regulatory could release a document for the structural department to update, and that information is no longer only known to the people within regulatory or through a long thread of emails, but is now captured within this tool. With this tool, a manager could easily know the current status of any given document or set of documents by taking a general snapshot of the workflow without having to hunt through tons of emails or asking 5 different people for the latest update. If someone were to get sick and be out of the office, the work doesn't need to come to a stop, but the team can continue working without relying solely on one person, since the information needed to move forward has already been laid out using this tool. Workflow management also allows for the assignment of tasks between employees and departments, which can increase personal accountability. This will allow us to distill the knowledge from people's brains and hundreds of emails into valuable, useful, tangible data. Revision control essentially changes the way we view the development of files. Currently, we work with and view files in a linear manner. We start with revision 1, make edits, and now the file becomes revision 2, make more edits or updates, and so on until we reach some state of the document that is ready to be issued through POL. But what happens in this development period? What happens when an engineer is instructed to go find a file hidden in the vast folders of the network? Hopefully, the workflow is documented well enough for this engineer to pick up the correct file, but chances are, time is wasted searching for the file, reading through emails, or finding someone who knows the location of the correct file. And even then, they might still get the wrong file. Working on the wrong file then brings its own set of problems, from losing work to losing time correcting and verifying the accuracy of the new document. But revision control takes us away from this linear development mindset. Instead of having 20 different versions in the development of a document, we now have one single version. Now, whenever an engineer is searching for a file, there's only one place to pull from. There's no longer a question of which file is the latest. There's no lost time searching for the correct file, and no lost time in updating the wrong file. But more importantly, we now have a happy, stress-free employee who's free to be more productive. And don't worry, if you need to go back to an earlier version of the document, it still exists and can be accessed by the proper authorized users. Think back to my first summer at Fluor, sifting through hundreds of documents. It's easy to see how implementing this set of tools will make things easier for everyone. Now, should any manager need to know where project documents are, they can easily find the files, as well as the status of any of those documents with the click of a button. Engineers can easily find their documents to work on, and the guesswork is removed from this process. One reason this challenge interests our group is because we as engineers work to remove safety risk in process designs on a daily basis in order to increase overall safety. One way of doing this is called the hierarchy of controls. So why not apply this same concept to our current product development process in order to reduce risk for lost time and lost work? Whenever a safety risk is introduced into the process design, the first and most effective risk control is to engineer design that completely removes the risk. If that's not possible, we then engineer controls into the system to help prevent the occurrence of the risk. These are the two most effective solutions, but if neither are possible, we then rely on the third level of control, administrative and work practice controls. Essentially, we are relying on human correction. If we evaluate our current level of control in the product development process within our company, we find ourselves at this third level. Human error is inevitable, and our work process is primarily dependent on human input. We should be trying to reduce and/or eliminate this potential for human error wherever possible, and to apply the safety hierarchy of controls to other aspects of our company, such as we are trying to do with the product development process. Another reason this challenge interests our group is the ability for our solution to permeate all aspects of Fluor and to ultimately help create a one Fluor mindset. This solution inherently aids communication between departments and can be adapted to aid the workflow process of any department. It can also be used globally to reduce communication errors between global execution centers. Our proposed project collaboration tool would be agile enough to be adapted to all phases of projects, not just engineering, but procurement and construction as well. Reducing wasted time in these phases of the project is where we can really see a huge return on our investment. Because communication is critical to all aspects of Fluor, our solution will eventually be able to touch every business line within our company. Through the use of a comprehensive tool as the one described, we can engineer a dynamic solution which will ultimately allow us to cut costs in all phases of a project, accelerate project execution, and reinvest this saved time on quality, innovation, and further differentiating Fluor from its competitors, thereby yielding a greater return on client capital investment. Instead of being bogged down by emails and searching all day, people can now spend their time producing higher quality products and finding new ways to make our company better every single day. While we are not by any means experts in IT, we've taken the initiative of getting in contact with parties from IBM, Fluor Connection SMEs, and even Fluor employees currently in the process of incorporating some of these ideas into their projects. We are confident that with the help of IBM, we can extend the capabilities of the Connections platform to not only implement the main concepts of our idea, but also to make them easy to use. As part of our research, we have also sought out the solutions used by other Fortune 500 companies, such as Oracle's Enterprise Manager, and even cutting-edge team collaboration tools such as Slack. In short, there's a wealth of resources that we've already begun tapping into, and we're excited to follow through on. One of the best ways we can contribute to solving this problem is our first-hand project experience, dealing with these communication problems on a day-to-day basis. While corporate desires to implement new systems to better our company, it's hard to know the true problems without being immersed within a project, because corporate by nature is farther removed. The first step to implementing our solution would be to survey the people and projects and then work with the leaders of project collaboration technologies to find the best tool for floor. The next step would be to pilot the program on small projects, find out what works, what doesn't work, and adjust the tool accordingly. Gradually, we would then start implementing this tool across the globe to create a one-floor solution. We believe that the biggest rewards come from long-term strategic challenges with the ability to disrupt the industry and to truly set us apart from our competitors. The type of people needed to implement this type of solution are truly passionate people, people who have the stamina to follow it through to the end, despite all the roadblocks and naysayers along the way. And with that, we would like to thank the BT&I team for seriously considering our team for the Innovation Unwrapped Challenge.